Keisha Reynolds sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the crumpled, overdue rent notice in her hands. It was the last day of January, and she was still $700 short on February's rent. Her car payment? There's not even a dollar to her name for that. She exhaled deeply, rubbing her temples, as her 5-year-old son, Jakari, played quietly with his toy cars on the worn-out carpet. It had been a long and brutal winter. Thanksgiving had drained what little savings she had, and Christmas. Well, she had gone above and beyond to make sure Jakari had gifts under the tree, even if it meant skipping meals and taking out a payday loan that was now haunting her like a ghost. The worst part, Jakari's father, Deshaun, was as useless as ever. No calls, no texts, and no child support, just empty promises and "I got you next time" lies. The last time she reached out to him for help, he had the audacity to tell her he was going through it too. Meanwhile, she saw him flashing money and popping bottles on Instagram. Keisha sighed and glanced at the eviction notice on the kitchen counter. She had until the 5th to come up with the rest of the money, or she and Jakari would be out on the streets. The next morning, Keisha's phone buzzed on the nightstand. She groggily reached for it, expecting another bill reminder or overdraft notification. Instead, a message from her bank app popped up. "Your Hulu payment of $14.99 has been processed." "What?" Keisha mumbled, sitting up. That didn't make sense. She had withdrawn every single dollar from her account 2 days ago to keep it from overdrafting. She quickly logged into her bank app and froze. Her account balance is $5,843.75. Her heart stopped. This had to be a mistake. She clicked on her transaction history, and there it was. Federal tax refund, $5,750. Keisha let out a scream so loud, Jakari dropped his toy cars and ran to her. "Mommy, what's wrong?" he asked, eyes wide with fear. Tears rolled down Keisha's face, but this time they weren't tears of stress or hopelessness. They were tears of relief. "Baby, we good," she laughed, scooping him up into her arms. "We real good." With her tax refund safely in her account, Keisha wasted no time. She immediately transferred the $700 she owed to her landlord, ensuring she and Jakari would have a roof over their heads for another month. A deep breath escaped her lips as she saw the confirmation email pop up. Rent paid. She then tackled her other priorities, making her overdue car payment and even setting aside money for groceries and daycare. For the first time in months, she felt like she could breathe. Just as she was about to celebrate, her phone buzzed again. A new message from her cousin Tasha popped up. "Girl, you need to check Facebook." Now Keisha frowned and quickly opened the app. The first thing she saw was a live video, Deshaun holding stacks of money, grinning like he just won the lottery. "Y'all know I stay getting to this bag. Tax season come around and you know a real one gotta eat first." Keisha's stomach turned. A sick feeling crept up her spine. How had Deshaun suddenly come into money? And why did it feel like a setup? Then it hit her. She never filed her taxes yet. Keisha's hands shook as she called the IRS helpline. After an agonizing wait, a representative confirmed her worst fear. "Ma'am, a tax return was already filed under your Social Security number." Her blood boiled. That lowlife had stolen her identity and filed her taxes before she even had the chance. Keisha knew exactly where Deshaun was. He always bragged about being at Club Lux on Fridays. She grabbed her coat, called her homegirl Nia to watch Jakari, and stormed out the door. The club was packed, but Keisha spotted Deshaun in VIP, surrounded by women, throwing money in the air. She pushed past security, marched straight up to him, and slapped the taste out of his mouth. The music screeched to a stop. "You stole my damn tax refund, Deshaun," she screamed. Deshaun stumbled back, looking stunned but guilty. "Man, what you talking about?" Before he could finish, 2 security guards grabbed Keisha and started dragging her out. "You lucky I don't call the damn police," she yelled, kicking and fighting. The next morning, Keisha woke up to her phone ringing non-stop. It was Tasha. "Girl, you ain't gonna believe this," Tasha said, laughing so hard she could barely speak. "Deshaun got arrested last night. He was out here flexing with all that money, and the cops picked him up for fraud and identity theft." Keisha sat up, shocked. "Wait, so he actually got caught?" "Oh yeah. And guess what else? Since he stole from you, the IRS is investigating." You might be able to get your refund back. A slow smile spread across Keisha's face. Maybe, just maybe, karma was real after all. As she hung up, she looked at Jakari playing on the floor and felt a renewed sense of hope.